every Muslim has to take account of himself. Umar radiallahu anhu used to say, حاسبوا أنفسكم قبل أن تحاسبوا. Take account of your own selves before Allah Azza wa Jal takes you to account.
Wow.
So we have to look and see. Many Muslims in the Ummah, millions and millions of Muslims in the Ummah are now, after the houses of Allah Azza wa Jal being closed, you can see different reactions. Some people, they were really connected to the house of Allah Azza wa Jal before this happened. They were regular attendees of the house of Allah, 5 times salah in the masjid, or the majority of the salawat in the masjid. Like the Prophet ﷺ described, رَجُلٌ قَلْبُهُ مُعَلَّقٌ فِي الْمَسَاجِدِ. They already have this attachment.
The heart was attached to the masjid.
For these people, we say, don't worry. Allah Azza wa Jal is giving you the reward of Salat al-Jama'ah as if the masjid was opened exactly.
Even though they're not praying in the masjid.
Even though they're not praying, but now they have to question the other actions that they're doing. Why is this happening? From a macro perspective, they have to see.
So on that, Sheikh, do we say that, Allah is trying to tell us something? All right, maybe we're not saying Allah is definitely angry with us, but we have to question ourselves and have this fear, have this concern. But what is Allah trying to tell us in your humble opinion?
Allah Azza wa Jal says in the Quran, clearly, without doubt,
yeah.
وَمَا أَصَابَكُم مِّن مُصِيبَةٍ فَبِمَا كَسَبَتْ أَيْدِيكُم. Any calamity that comes, especially at this scale, this global scale.
Unprecedented. It's never seen before.
Unprecedented. At least in our generation, in the last maybe 50, 60 years, in these generations, we've never seen anything close to this. The majority of us even never experienced like things like World War II or, like these major happenings of the world. Everything has been smooth. It has been a smooth run for so many decades now. So for these people, it's a wake-up call. You have to understand that things do happen on that large scale, and they send the message. Allah definitely is sending a message to humanity that something is wrong.
Wow.
وَمَا أَصَابَكُم مِّن مُصِيبَةٍ. Any calamity that comes, فَبِمَا كَسَبَتْ أَيْدِيكُمْ وَيَعْفُ عَنْ كَثِيرًا. And Allah forgives so much. This is just a taste. Allah Azza wa Jal is sending a small wake-up call. Realize Allah Azza wa Jal is in total control. In a second, Allah can change your luxuries, your lifestyle, all these ni'am that you have been, you've been consuming, using, you've adapted to so much like they were given.
We're used to it, we're accustomed
Allah
to
Azza wa Jal shows you now, wait a minute, remember Allah, remember that this is not a right. It's not a right that you have, it's just Allah Azza wa Jal have given you so much for so many years. Now it's time to beg Allah Azza wa Jal for these bounties again.
I guess as people who live in a Western country or in a first world country, we made a video on this topic. We get accustomed to these blessings, we get accustomed to these luxuries, and we have this underlying sense of privilege. Everything will be fine. Why? Because, I live in a good country, but then Allah is saying, all right, not even those who live in a first world country are safe from a hardship, a calamity. And Sheikh, you touched on it, it's from the hands of people. And there's another verse in the Quran, I think it says, وَظَهَرَ الْفَسَادُ. Yeah.
Allah says, Surah Al-Rum, ظَهَرَ الْفَسَادُ فِي الْبَرِّ وَالْبَحْرِ بِمَا كَسَبَتْ أَيْدِي النَّاسِ. Corruption has appeared on land and in the sea as a result of the actions and decisions and choices of people.
SubhanAllah.
لِيُذِيقَهُمْ بَعْضَ الَّذِي عَمِلُوا لَعَلَّهُم يَرْجِعُونَ. Again, Allah is only giving a taste. Allah Azza wa Jalla can destroy everyone. Allah can, His punishment, subhanahu wa ta'ala, can be destruction for everyone. This is not, I personally don't believe this is punishment from Allah. I believe punishment, when we say punishment, it means dying on disobedience. When Allah takes your life as a disobedient slave, in sin, in haram, in lack of gratitude, that's punishment. Anything under this is a test from Allah, a wake-up call from Allah Azza wa Jal. So this, I don't believe is punishment. I believe this is a massive wake-up call for all the ummah to sit down and ponder. لِيُذِيقَهُمْ بَعْضَ الَّذِي عَمِلُوا. Only a portion of the sins.
A taste.
Only a taste. لَعَلَّهُمْ يَرْجِعُونَ. Maybe they will turn to Allah. And this takes me back to what I was telling you before. For the people who are regular to the house of Allah, already on deen, alhamdulillah, already practicing, they're getting the reward of salah in the masjid regardless.
We ask Allah for that, man.
But for some people, they never had a relationship with the masjid in the first place. And it's amazing. I had a few of these people that I knew that were not linked to the masjid calling up and asking, can we still come to the masjid? Now he woke up.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على محمد وآله وصحبه أجمعين. We welcome you to the 8th episode of Salam TV, and I will leave you with Sheikh Riyadh and his recitation for Al-Quran.
سنقرأ آية نعبر فيها عن مضمون هذه الحلقة، وهذه الآية فيها مضمون عظيم لما يجب أن يكون أو أن تكون عليه الأسرة أو أن تكون عليه العلاقة الأسرية. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ومن آياته أن خلق لكم من أنفسكم أزواجا لتسكنوا إليها وجعل بينكم مودة ورحمة إن في ذلك لآيات لقوم يتفكرون. سبحان الله العظيم. كم معبرة هذه الآية دكتور محمد عبد الله؟ دكتور وليد.
Jazakallah khair, Sheikh. What a beautiful recitation from Sheikh Riyadh. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward him. And welcome everyone with this special episode tonight, the 8th night of Ramadan, inshallah. Already 1 week gone, and we miss that week. We miss every day, unfortunately, but it passes, and we have 3 weeks to go to increase our iman, inshallah, increase our ta'at, our ibadat, inshallah. You are watching us from your couch, but I am privileged tonight to be again with this program and this show. And with me on this blessed couch, I guess, is Sheikh Riyadh. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give him all the rewards that nice in Jannah, inshallah. And with us, no one but the best guest for these nights is Professor Muhammad Abdullah, and he is well known Sheikh here and Prof in Adelaide, and we are very, very privileged, and I think I am very privileged more than you guys. You're watching him on screen, but I see him in flesh here with me, so I'm very privileged here tonight. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward you, Sheikh and Prof. I might invite you just to compliment or the chat with the Sheikh Riyadh about the ayah that he chose for the theme for this week.
Sure. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah. Wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulillah. Amma ba'd. First and foremost, thank you very much for having us here, and thanks to Salam TV. If I may translate quickly the ayah that the Sheikh recited, his beautiful recitation. The Sheikh Riyadh chose a wonderful ayah of the Quran, and all the Quran is wonderful, of course, in which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, meaningless, and of Allah's signs is that He has created from you spouses for yourselves, and then He made between you love and affection, or love and compassion, and in that are signs for people who ponder. So سؤالي للشيخ طبعا لماذا اخترت هذه الآية الكريمة? Why did you choose this particular ayah tonight?
سبحان الله مولانا. يقول الله تعالى ومن آياته. عندما تذكر ومن آياته يتبادر لذهن المسلم أنه رب العالمين يتحدث عن آيات الشمس، القمر، السماء، الأرض، هذه الآيات.
نعم.
الخلق، خلق الإنسان،
نعم.
آيات. أما أن تقول ومن آياته أن خلق لكم من أنفسكم أزواجا، أين الآيات؟
سبحان الله.
أين الآية الدالة على وحدانية الله،
نعم.
الدالة على عظمة الله سبحانه وتعالى؟ أين هي تلك المدلولات العظيمة في هذه الآية؟ الله سبحانه وتعالى يقول ومن آياته أن خلق لكم من أنفسكم. معروف أنه حواء من نفس آدم عليهما سلام الله. من أنفسكم أزواجا لتسكنوا إليها وجعل بينكم مودة ورحمة.
نعم.
فهنا الآية أنه يستحيل أن يتكون بين رجل وامرأة سكن واطمئنان واستقرار إلا بالزواج الذي منطلقه كتاب الله وسنة رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. وأي علاقة أخرى غير الزواج الشرعي الذي منطلقه كتاب الله وسنة رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم لن تحقق ذلك السكن. إذن فهذه آية دالة على وحدانية الله وعلى عظمة الله وعلى عظمة هذا التشريع الإلهي والهدي النبوي. فاخترت هذه الآية حتى تلامس موضوعنا اليوم، وهو كما تعلمون حديث النبي عليه الصلاة والسلام خيركم خيركم لأهله وأنا خيركم لأهلي. هذه الأسرة التي يجب أن نحافظ عليها، وهذه الأسرة التي مبدأها الرجل والمرأة، الأب والأم. فنسأل الله عز وجل أن نوفق في هذا اللقاء، خاصة ومعنا فضيلة الدكتور البروفيسور محمد عبد الله، إلى ما ينفع الناس وإلى ما ينفعنا نحن أيضا إن شاء الله.
جزاك الله خير.
Jazakum Allah khair. Thank you. If I may translate what the beautiful words of Sheikh Riyad. He said he chose this particular ayah because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala begins by the verse by saying, and of Allah's signs. And often when Allah speaks about His signs, the Sheikh said, we immediately begin to think of the wondrous signs of Allah, the large and magnificent signs of Allah, such as the sun or the moon or the heavens or the ocean and so forth. But instead of that, what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying in the ayah, as the Shaykh has said, is that Allah is referring us to one of His greatest signs, and that is He created for you from among yourselves spouses. And the function of that is to dwell with one another, to live with one another, and have affection and love in that relationship. And then the word, the Shaykh said that the Arabic, in the Arabic verse, the word second comes in that ayah, which is interestingly in the Arabic language because the second, which is, it's not a house, it's a home in which you find tranquility, you find peace. And this peace and tranquility, the Shaykh said, can only happen if there is that union between man and woman in a legitimate marriage relationship that is fundamentally based on the Quran and the Sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And that tranquility and that peace of mind and that satisfaction and that love and affection can only emanate in a marriage that is based on a legitimate relationship between man and wife in accordance to the Quran and the Sunnah. And then he said, finally, I chose this verse because the theme of tonight's session is the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, the beautiful hadith where he says, the best among you are those who are best to their wives or their families, and I am best to my families or my wives. And so the Shaykh's message is that this is how we should be living in our families, and this is how we can bring this sakeen or sukoon, this tranquility and peace.
جزاك الله خير.
شكرا
دكتور محمد عبد الله، بروفيسور محمد عبد الله. Dear brothers and sisters that following us tonight for our 8th episode of Salam TV, the home or housekeeping points that I want to mention here first is the Salam TV is brought to you by the Islamic Society of South Australia. It's an initiative for this Ramadan, the 1441 Hijri, and it's because of the current situation with COVID-19. Otherwise, we would have you all to be attending all the masjids and musallas in these nights, but we thought we enrich your nights of Iman and Taqwa with this activity or this Salam TV to bring to you the best of mashaykhs and themes of for Ramadan. If you want to contact us, that's the second point. If you want to contact us live on the show to answer questions or to ask questions, we have Professor Muhammad Abdullah and Sheikh Riyadh. They are. It's an opportunity for tonight for you to ask any questions that comes to your mind, and you can call us on 8374-2280, and we will broadcast your question and answer it live on this TV. It's an opportunity for you, or you just type it if you are following us on the live TV on the Facebook page. Just type your question, and the admin and the people behind the scene, they are following that. And I won't forget to thank them again and acknowledge their hard work in the preparation, starting from the director, Sister Noor, and the producer, the one and only Brother Zuhair Mawlawi, and he is the greatest of all producers in Adelaide for Islamic shows. We will try to turn the camera at some stage this night and show you his face, so then you can remember him and thank him if you see him in the street. He is a celebrity. And then Brother Abdul Qayyum, he is part of the team, and all the team from Islamic Society. The fourth point is that please share this broadcasting, so then you can invite more people, get more people involved, and get more people watching it, so then the benefit and inshallah the reward will be greater for the Islamic community here or abroad or even interstate. The fifth one, don't forget to vote for me that I'm the best presenter of these shows so that I can come back again, because I've just scored another night tomorrow, or you vote me down so then they kick me out. So it's either way, but I prefer the first one. I will continue because Sheikh Riyadh just gave away the theme that I was going to announce for this week, the second week of Ramadan 1441 Hijri, is about the family, and it is come about from the beautiful hadith by the Prophet ﷺ. The best of you are those who are the best to their family. أحسنكم إيمانا أحسنكم لأهله أو خيركم خيركم لأهله. And we will be discussing this theme along this week, the second week of Ramadan, inshallah. But I promise you the program tonight will be a lot of fun. We have a lot of segments and a lot of activities. We will kick it start with I guess a chat with the Professor Muhammad Abdullah about his work with SITE, the Center of Islamic Thought and Education, and then we followed with a few videos recorded, segments, and the quizzes, and will be a segment of our one nasheed from the Sheikh Riyadh, and then we'll try to make some other activities as we get along. And of course, your feedback, your questions will enrich the night episode, so please get involved. I won't delay I know you all want to hear from Professor Muhammad Abdullah, so as I. So let's have turn the camera to him, and we'll start with a few questions and a few chats about him. Prof. Muhammad Abdullah, you know that you always a highlight of the show wherever you are going and wherever program you'll be attending. We will be chatting tonight about the SITE. It is very, it's part of the Islamic institution in this state, and it has multifaceted benefits for the community and the Islamic community and the wider community. I will ask with the first questions, how long you have been here in Adelaide, and how did you find the place? That's from the producer. Let's do it.
Well, once again, thank you very much, Dr. Waleed. Thank you very much, Sheikh Riyadh and the producers. I moved to South Australia in August 2016. Right? So it's been, can you believe, 3.5 years almost.
There you go.
Time just flew.
Yes.
And I was invited to establish the Center for Islamic Thought and Education at the University of South Australia. And Allah yabarak. To be honest, we never planned to move to Adelaide.
Okay.
It was never on the horizon. It was not part of the plan. But as we say, قدر الله ما شاء فعل. Allah decided and it happened. And we have found Adelaide and the people of Adelaide to be unbelievably beautiful. We feel like we are at home. My wife and son are with me. We love Adelaide. It is, we love the people of Adelaide. We feel at home.
We love you as well.
Thank you very much. Jazakumullah khair. And we have been made to feel at home by everybody.
Alhamdulillah.
And of course, as you know, Adelaide has a very Mediterranean weather. So
It is.
when I first moved, I was told that if you're a Palestinian, which I am, background Palestinian, then Adelaide is your place because it reminds you of Palestine, the weather, you know, the olive trees and the rumman, the pomegranate, and so on. So alhamdulillah, it's been a wonderful move, and I'm very thankful first and foremost to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and then to everybody who facilitated our move, alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. Prof, as you know that tonight the show, a lot of people from our community obviously watching it. And we are talking about the site, the Center of Islamic Thoughts and Education in the University of South Australia. We want to ask you to explain to the community what's this center, because people, when they hear about a university or a center in university, they just think that it's academic and locked and books and people that they are just really dedicated and sometimes scary. You talk to them and they're just going to be too many sentences and a lot of talks, but not many people know that they actually have other activities. So could you please give us an overview about the center?
Yeah, well, thank you very much for the opportunity. So before moving, just to put a context, before moving to South Australia and establishing the Center for Islamic Thought and Education, I was, alhamdulillah, privileged to start two other centers. One was the National Center of Excellence for Islamic Studies, which was a Australia-wide center between three universities, Griffith University, University of Melbourne, and the University of Western Sydney. And I was leading the center at the Griffith University in Brisbane.
Right.
And before that, in 2005, 2006, I established, by the tawfiq of Allah, the Griffith University Islamic Research Unit. And so really I have been this at least for 20 years, but more important for me than the academic part is the engagement with the community.
Yeah.
Because I have always said that as an academic scholar, we don't look at Islam and the Muslim community as a subject of inquiry.
Right.
We're not studying them.
Yeah.
We are them. We are part of the community. We understand their aspirations. We understand their happy occasions and sad occasions.
Yeah.
And so fundamentally, the Center for Islamic Thought and Education is involved in three things, three areas.
Yeah.
One is research, which academics do. And I'll talk a little bit more about the type of research that we do.
Okay.
And secondly, teaching.
Yeah.
University level teaching, but also community level teachings.
Okay.
And thirdly, and importantly, engagement. In this case, engagement with the communities, whether they are the Australian Muslim community or the wider community.
Right.
What I believe is that our experience with the community, the aspirations of the communities, the challenges that the community has faced since 9/11 until now informs our research, and it informs our teaching.
Right.
So in terms of research, for example, we are involved with 3 or 4 broad areas.
Yep.
One, we are researching almost everything to do with Islamic schools and Islamic education.
Yep.
And in fact, the Center for Islamic Thought and Education is the only one of its kind, as far as we know, in the world that is completely dedicated to studying Islamic education and Islamic schools.
Right.
Right. And when we talk about Islamic schools, we're talking about leadership in Islamic schools, Arabic studies in Islamic schools,
Yep.
Islamic studies in Islamic schools,
Yep.
teacher training
Yep.
of Islamic schools, school reviews.
Yep.
But also we engage in research in Islamic finance
Okay.
and financial literacy.
Yep.
A lot of questions, as you can imagine, about Islamic finance. A lot
of
of
course.
people, and Islamic finance is a huge area.
Yep.
But also a third area is we engage in issues to do with leadership and leadership at the organizational level, community level.
Yep.
And last but not least, issues to do with domestic violence and intimate partner violence and family violence.
MashaAllah.
This is the research level.
MashaAllah.
In terms of teaching, we have undergraduate courses, a minor in Islamic studies, which any university student can take fully as a minor or as electives. In our minor, we have a course on Introduction to Islam, which anyone can take, Muslim or
Yeah.
those who don't identify as Muslim.
Okay.
Great Empires of Islamic Civilization, Introduction to Islamic Law,
Yep.
and Islam in the Modern World, and Islam and International Relations. These are
Right.
the courses.
Right.
But also we have we have courses in Islamic education. We have a graduate certificate in Islamic education,
Yeah.
a graduate diploma in Islamic education, and a master's in teaching secondary Islamic pedagogy.
Okay.
And last but not least, we also have PhD students working with us, about 15, 16 of them doing research in all of these areas.
Okay.
And engage with the community, with the masjids, with the young people, with the women's association and organizations. And so we believe that we have to be a very, a part and parcel of our community.
That's wonderful, Professor Muhammad Abdullah, that this overview. You've touched on that you take people as undergraduates in minor or electives and the postgraduates, but just briefly, how do they need, or where they should go to enroll, I guess, just for
Yeah.
information for the community?
Well, any student who's now in year 12, for example, and about to go to university, they can take the minor in Islamic studies as part of their degree, or they can take any of these as electives. So once they, and this is, it's cross-institutional. In other words, regardless which university you are with,
Okay.
you can take those courses as electives. So you don't have to be enrolled with the University of South Australia to take these courses.
Okay, so
So
Adelaide University or
Anyone,
Flinders.
or from New South Wales, from
Okay.
Melbourne, from
Okay.
across the country. And
MashaAllah.
they will get credit for that. But if they are within the University of South Australia, the same, they can take either, usually students nowadays in their degree programs, they can take a major and a minor.
Okay.
So they can take the minor and simply go on our website, the Center for Islamic Thought and Education.
Okay,
And under the programs, they will see that all these programs are listed, and they can just follow the steps to enroll.
to enroll. And
Yes.
postgraduates?
Postgraduate students can, again, if they have finished an undergraduate degree
Yeah.
and they want to do, say, a master's or a PhD in any of the topics that we have mentioned,
Yep.
then they can just simply write to us directly.
Okay,
Go to our website on the University of South Australia's website, search for CITE, Center for Islamic Thought and Education,
yep,
and they can contact us and tell us that they're interested in doing a master's or a PhD with us. And any of our wonderful team will be happy to discuss the possibility of supervising them.
perfect. 3 more questions, they pretty much lumped with each other. Before I go into one of them, I'm just thinking of one thing. Like we hear from government about how we can involve academia in normal life. And I guess this is what we are trying to see from the future of SITE.
Yes.
Because you've got all these programs already established, and obviously the future for it is that expands or something. But would you touch on that and that what you can see from what the government or always the leaders, they say we want the community to use academia to the benefit for the community or to the market.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got the finance, so that's can touch the market, and other aspects of life is part of the community. So,
Absolutely. Well, let me give you 3 examples of how our work is directly engaged with community.
right,
One, working with the youth or the young people, which is very important.
Yeah.
So we, as you know, post 9/11, we have had many national and international events that have impacted on the lives of Muslims,
yeah,
Australian Muslims, particularly the young. Whether it's 9/11 or the Cronulla riots
Right.
or national events where individuals commit crimes in the name of Islam,
yeah,
or internationally. And what that has done to young Muslims growing up in Australia is that, plus issues like Islamophobia and the media's misrepresentation of Islam and Muslims, it has impacted on the identity formation of young people.
right.
And so there
That's
is
a crisis, isn't it?
a massive crisis. In
Yeah.
fact, there is an identity crisis.
It is.
So what we have done over the last many years is created a new program that addresses these very important issues that touch on the identity issues of young people, and we called it Applied Islam.
Right.
And Applied Islam is not taught as an academic program as such, though it is structured in that way. And through Applied Islam, we have engaged literally with hundreds and hundreds of young Australian men and women in almost all the states of Australia,
Yep.
where we empower them through a proper education about Islam itself and its place in Australia, about the history of Islam and its place in Australia, but also about the fact that having an Islamic and an Australian identity are actually or can be compatible, and they do not need to be at odds.
Yeah.
And that has really empowered many young men and women in tremendous ways. So that is an example.
And they should not be being pushed or pulled in either side.
100%.
Yeah.
In fact, what I always say to young people, you must not allow others to define for you who you are.
Yep.
Once you have a rich understanding of your faith tradition
Right.
and your own identity, then you define for yourself who you are.
Yes.
Right? Yes, factors like Islamophobia and the media's rhetoric against Islam and
Yeah.
Muslims is tremendous, and it
Yeah.
has a negative impact. But how can we empower those young people in our community to have resilience and to be able to resist that temptation of losing their own identity
Yep.
and form positive identities that can allow them to function as Australian Muslims in this community? So that is one example.
Right.
I mean, the other example is training programs for teachers.
Right.
We have, as we speak, about 70 Islamic schools in the country, in Australia, and growing.
MashaAllah.
But would you believe that there isn't a single teacher training program for teachers working in Islamic schools?
Subhanallah.
There isn't. Of course, teachers, they undertake normal, conventional
Yeah.
bachelor degree in education and so forth.
Yeah.
But there is nothing out there that can equip them
Yeah.
to be able to work within an Islamic schooling context.
The icing on the cake.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so what our center has done is we have some of the world leading scholars in Islamic pedagogy, Islamic education,
Yeah.
and we are working with Islamic schools to say, well, we can help you to enact the vision, the Islamic vision of your school through teacher training, through professional development programs,
Right.
and so on.
Jazakallah khair, Professor. The last thing is that we need to touch on, I mean, all this tremendous work and this huge activities that you're doing through this site and in the past, nothing comes without challenges. I know we
Absolutely.
all celebrate your success, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward you and reward the team that with you. But would you touch on the challenges? We always want to hear about challenges. Once we talk about successes, we need to talk about
Yes.
challenges.
Well, thank you for that question. I guess there has been a lot of successes, and within 3 years, we were able to establish all of these programs, undergraduate, postgraduate. I mean, can you imagine in the first 2 years, we attracted 15 PhD students, which is phenomenal.
Yeah.
And to develop from scratch all these programs and to develop this and to have a wonderful engagement with all the community, whether it's the mosques or individual communities or the wider Australian community with government and media.
Right.
The biggest challenge that we have faced is since moving to South Australia and the University of South Australia is not being able to attract students to our undergraduate electives, Islamic studies, minor in Islamic studies.
Okay.
And we hope that we can do that. We can attract some more students.
Right.
The university has funded us initially for a number of years, but after that we need to stand on our own feet and be sustainable.
Okay.
And the only way we can become sustainable is through revenue from student enrollment.
Right.
And though we have a large cohort of PhD students, which is excellent, but we are challenged by the very small number of students who are in our Islamic studies program.
Okay.
So to give you an example, when I was at the previous university, we used to attract up to 300 to 400 students taking our,
Undergraduate. Okay.
exactly.
Okay.
And we're not doing that here in South Australia. So I'm not sure why. We've tried many different ways of promotion and marketing and so forth.
Yeah.
But that remains a challenging point for us.
Yeah.
And the second one is engaging or having Islamic schools engage more with us and take some of these world-class, fully accredited teacher training programs that can enhance their schools in leaps and bounds.
Sure.
And inshallah ta'ala that will happen.
Jazakallah khair, Prof. Should we use this episodes of Ramadan TV to encourage our community to take this opportunity? We've just heard from the professor that we need more students to go in the undergraduate programs as minor or elective, and we especially promoting this to the students in the Islamic colleges, Muslim students, and this is an opportunity. This is something to put under your belt for the future. For a lot of, it will open a lot of doors and windows for you, and we as well encourage the Islamic schools to promote this center for their students as they're heading towards university. The other thing that we encourage the community is to make donation for the center, and this is very important to maintain the center. The center is an asset for the Islamic community, Muslim community here in Adelaide and South Australia and Australia-wide. So your donation is part of the sadaqah because it's part of the maintaining the Islamic teaching in Islamic community and Islamic resilience in this state and Australia. The producer keep reminding me about this next segment, and I have to move on. Unfortunately, I have to, although the chat with Prof. Abdullah is never too long. It's always too short, and we want to have more time. But inshallah, we will promise that we bring him for another episode, and he will be another guest. So as am I. So please vote for me to come again, and vote for Professor Muhammad Abdullah to come again. It is very important. I will close this session by thanking him again. Thank you, Professor. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward you.
Ameen.
And we will see you next time. We will move to a sponsorship video by Al Medina Grocery and Butcher. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward you all. Stay tuned.
You lift me up high, you spread my wings and fly me to the sky. I feel so alive, it's like my soul thrives in your light. But how I wish you'd be here with me all year around.
This business is old business, like 10 years ago. I start like 10 years ago, but I buy just like 5 months back. Yeah. So this like all halal meat. He come like Tuesday and Friday fresh meat all the time, and he 100% hand cut and 100% halal. And I have grocery as well, like Arab grocery and Indian, Pakistani, and like all community. I have like all the type grocery as well. Yes, I sell like all the type meat, like beef and lamb, goat, chicken. Yeah, I sell like everything. Yeah, it's just 7 days open, and from morning 10 to 8:30, and 7 days.
Breeze fills up the air. Ramadan, month of the Quran. I feel it inside of me, strengthening my iman. But how I wish you'd be here with me all year around. Ramadan, Ramadan, Ramadan.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Welcome back, brothers and sisters, for the 8th episode of Salam TV on the 8th night of Ramadan, 1441 Hijri. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward you for following us. We thank our sponsor, Al Medina Grocery and Butcher Shop, and all other sponsors. So please, if you have a business and you want to sponsor this program and this TV, come forward. Send us an email on info@islamicsocietysA.org.au or call us on 8374-2280 and try to speak to our producer and directors for an opportunity to be a sponsor. It's a small fee, goes towards Salam TV and for the activities of the Islamic Society. Please, these Ramadan nights are blessed nights. Try to do more of salah, of ta'at, and one of the ta'at that you do is the sadaqah and sadaqah jariyah, and that is the donation for the Islamic Society of South Australia to all our programs, expansion of masjids, expansions of centers, all other programs like the Salam TV and like other activities for the youth and for the elderly and for the aged care. And all these activities are funded by your donation, and they're all sadaqah jariyah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward you, and you will find every cent and every dollar that you donate for our activities of the Islamic Society of South Australia in the Day of Judgment, and will be granting you, inshallah, Jannah for it. I will leave you with Sheikh Riyadh, and I will have the quiz of the night, the first question for the quiz of the night. Inshallah, Sheikh Riyadh, he will give you the quiz, and I will translate it, and we'll wait for your answers, and then we will continue our chat about the families. Tonight is about the family, and this week the theme is about the family and the family unit. Sheikh Riyadh, جزاك الله خير. سؤالنا لهذه الليلة 8 من رمضان 1441 هجرية. جزاك الله خير.
طالما نحن في اليوم 8 من رمضان سنسأل سؤال: اذكر 8 أسماء ليوم القيامة. اذكر 8 أسماء ليوم القيامة. طبعا تعلمون أن في القرآن الكريم وردت آيات كثيرة فيها أسماء ليوم القيامة.
جزاك الله خير Sheikh. Sheikh Riyadh had chose tonight a very interesting question. Actually, I haven't heard it before, but it's very interesting. So the question for tonight, because it's the 8th night of Ramadan, the question is from the theme of the 8th, and the question saying, please give 8 names for the Day of Judgment mentioned in the Quran. So there are 8 different names for the Day of Judgment, for Yawm al-Qiyamah, for Day of Judgment mentioned in the Quran. Can you provide them for us, or say or type it, or call to answer this? If you want to call, you can call 8374-2280, or type your answer on the Facebook as you're following us. 8 different names of the Day of Judgment that's been mentioned in the Quran by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Sheikh, we will talk about it, about the the family. So شيخ خلينا نتكلم عن الأسرة وموقع الأسرة في الإسلام وموقعها حتى في رمضان إن شاء الله. بعد الفيديو إن شاء الله اللي راح نطلع عليه إن شاء الله تعالى. So the chat about the family will come to you shortly after the next video, which is a family cooking. It's a family cooking the best soup for the family in Ramadan by Sister Razia Jabbar, and we will try to test it afterwards, inshallah. Let's see if we can get that video playing for you to cook the best soup for your family and for us, inshallah.
Assalamu alaikum everyone. Welcome to Salam TV once again. So tonight I'm back again at Salam Community Center Kitchen. So this kitchen, in case if you have any events or dinner parties after COVID-19, of course, after the restriction is taken away from the government, you can actually rent this kitchen. Just give us a call at 8374-2280. Okay, so I have a guest today who's going to show us a beautiful recipe that we're going to learn together. So I have with me here Sister Razia. Salam alaikum, sister.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
How are you, sister?
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah, that's good to know. And how's your Ramadan has been?
Very good, mashallah. Very short Ramadan, winter, and alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. The timing is short.
Short.
Yes, definitely. So you are going to show us a recipe today?
Yeah, this one I want to show you. This recipe usually we use in the winter time because it's cold and all the healthy things in here, you know. So I thought it's a good time to show you the soup.
Yes, mashallah. So it's perfect recipe for the winter that is we are in right now.
I hope everyone like it.
I'm sure. Looking at the colorful ingredients, I'm already excited. Maybe you can start to show us what are the ingredients?
Okay. This is the one I want to show you. This is when we bought this halal butcher shop. This is a lamb shank, more than 1 kilo. And we use the celery and beans, any type of beans which we have at home. If you haven't got the beans, it doesn't matter. If you have, just throw any beans. Ham, some carrots, garlic, ginger, bay leaf, cinnamon stick, salt, and vegeta, and onion, and oil. And the plus, of course, is water.
Water. Okay, is it normal tap water?
No, yeah,
normal tap water. So just now you mentioned about vegeta. Where can we get vegeta?
Actually, the vegeta you can buy any shops. Like some people they don't like a chili and this and that they haven't got. So people use, instead of any spices, they throw only this and vegeta. So they have a lot of herbs, you know, like coriander, capsicum, celery, and all this type, all dry things, and this is a very, very good flavor.
So it's to add flavor to the soup.
Yes.
MashaAllah, I can't wait for iftar later.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so we shall bring everything now to the stove to start cooking. So we're gonna start cooking our lamb shank soup. So Sister Razia, you can start and whenever.
Okay, Bismillah.
Bismillah. So that's the first secret. Bismillah.
So we have to put just like a 2 tablespoons.
2 tablespoons of oil. Okay. So we just heat up the oil for a while.
For a second, for a few seconds. And then after, is this high?
We'll just put it high for you. Okay.
Once it's a little bit high, and then you put the onion in here.
So next ingredient is the onion.
Bismillah.
Bismillah again, remember that. Okay. How long do we need to saute the onion?
Just depend, you know, just once the color is a bit brown, you know, then we can.
Okay, so we saute the onion until it's a bit brown.
Yeah, a bit brown. Just for a few minutes, you know, 3-5 minutes. 5 minutes approximately.
Okay, so is the onion ready?
Yes, onion nearly ready. Now we are putting some masalas, like first things bay leaf.
Bay leaf.
cinnamon stick, and garlic ginger paste, and some vegeta
All together.
all together,
Okay.
and a little bit of salt. Better put it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, just we have to soak up until get the.
Oh. So all those ingredients in.
Just for a few seconds.
Uh-huh.
Now, once you see the smell coming, now we put the meat in here now.
So let me hold you them. It's okay?
Yeah.
All the meat inside together with all the flavors. MashaAllah.
Now
And we mix all together.
for a couple of minutes.
Mm-hmm. Is this a traditional Indian food?
No, I don't think so. This is a traditional. Actually, this food is like a winter soup.
Okay, okay.
So I don't think so. We ever use this one in India because India is.
So is this your own creation?
Yes.
MashaAllah. So we are learning a new recipe here.
I hope everyone likes it.
Inshallah, I'm very sure. It smells nice already, sister.
Yeah, after now, once it's sort, you can see the color change, meat color change.
Yeah.
Once the color change, then we put some water.
Ah, okay. So we just keep on mixing until it's mixed very well cooked.
Yeah, mix the color. The meat has to be,
Yes, yes.
because otherwise you can't do again. Once you do this one and then you throw the water.
I see, I see. And I noticed that you're using pressure cooker. Do you usually use pressure cooker at home?
At home, I usually don't use because the soup usually has to go slow cooker.
Ah.
So very slow fire.
Let the meat absorb all the
Absorb.
flavor.
Yes. So I usually do this one at home with a big saucepan, throw everything and just let it cook until the meat has to be soft and come out.
I see, I see.
I usually get more flavor.
So at home, you use a slow cooker.
Yes.
Just for the sake of this, we use pressure cooker.
That's right. Because that's fine.
All right. So
Now
now,
we're putting water now.
Okay. how much water?
Or depend.
Depends. Should it cover the whole lamb, the whole
No,
meat?
because more we put the just to cover because the pressure cooker, otherwise the water come out on the top.
Oh,
you know?
yes, yes, yes.
So just has to be just careful. Otherwise, we usually put this in the big saucepan, put more water, a lot of water. So we put
So normal saucepan we can put more water,
more water.
but pressure cooker just
Yeah,
that.
because it's not enough to take all that much in the pressure
Okay.
cooker.
So should we add more water after it's being
After
cooked?
yes, then I will show you next step what you have to do.
All right.
Now that's it. Now we have to put the lid on.
Okay. So here's the lid.
Bismillah. There we are. So now we have to wait until I'll tell you.
How long we don't know?
Usually this one 15 to 20 minutes, depend on the pressure cooker. Depend on the
okay.
meat.
Okay, okay. So we will get back to you once it's already cooked.
Yes.
Wow, so look at this meat. It's already tender and the color is also very nice. So what's next, sister?
Now we're putting the vegetable which I showed you before, like a carrots and parsley, celery and beans.
Okay, so we put in the vegetable together.
Yes.
All right. Then we mix everything with it.
You have some more here?
Yes, so we put in more or the remaining vegetable and some water as well. Okay, there you go.
Bismillah.
Yes, the Bismillah always.
Now once I start cooking in a high fire,
Mm-hmm.
and then we put slow for half an hour until all the
The flavors infused in.
Yes.
Okay. Nice, very colorful, mashallah. Okay, so alhamdulillah, while we are waiting for the lamb and the vegetable to cook together, we go to our next recipe. So what's our next recipe, sister?
next recipe is pumpkin soup.
Pumpkin soup. What's so special about this pumpkin soup?
This is actually pumpkin soup is for the winter soup. Usually we use in the winter time.
Okay, okay.
And I think so this one they like all the children, adults, everybody like the pumpkin soup.
Mashallah. So how do we eat the pumpkin soup?
So in the pumpkin soup we use pumpkin
Mm-hmm.
and bit of onion.
Mm-hmm.
We cook together with the water.
Mm-hmm.
Once it start soften up this pumpkin,
Mm-hmm.
then we use this one.
Okay.
Once you finish this one, then we put some salt, pepper,
Uh-huh.
and some cream.
Cream. Okay. So what do you eat this pumpkin soup with?
With a nice bread, with the olive oil, with that one and
Uh-huh.
this one, or maybe with the naan bread. I think so. The naan bread go with very good with the pumpkin soup.
Wow, it sounds so good, mashallah.
Yes.
And Sister Raza actually told me that she wants to do naan bread here as well for Salam TV. But we don't have much time.
Yes.
So next time, inshallah, you will show us
Inshallah.
naan.
Inshallah.
So should we get started?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, we shall get started on the stove now. So we already mixed the pumpkin and the onions together with the water. How much water do we use?
Just to cover up with the pumpkin and the onion
Okay, then how long should we boil?
until it get the soften.
The pumpkin soften.
Yes.
Okay, so we'll wait for the pumpkin to soften and we'll get back to you once it's done. Okay, so here's the pumpkin and the onion that we boiled just now. So it's actually boiled up till it's
Soft.
almost mashed. It's very soft. So what Sister Raza is doing right now is she's going to mix everything together. So it's being blended together. So this is the consistency that we want. So what should we do with this?
Now we put we have to put bit of black pepper, just half a teaspoon, or
Half a teaspoon.
a bit of salt.
This is an interesting part when much more experienced people cook. They will just pour everything, but we need to use spoon and
Spoon.
everything.
We haven't got no measurement. This is for the taste. Sometimes if you want more salt or more black pepper, you can put on the top. It doesn't make any difference.
Okay.
And now the thing,
So we mix.
we just put the salt and pepper. Now we put the cream and mix. And once you see consistency, if you're less or more, it doesn't matter. Then mix. Now we have to put in the stove for 5 minutes until it's get cooked, cream properly, and then that's it.
All right. So we'll put on the stove and we'll see what happened for the result in 5 minutes. All right. Welcome back, everyone. So we have finished this two beautiful dish. We have our lamb soup as well as this pumpkin soup. It looks delicious, Sister Razia.
Thank you.
We can't do a taste test because we are still fasting.
Yeah.
So I can't wait for iftar. And we really thank you very much for your time
Anytime.
coming in and making these two nice dishes for us.
I hope you all people enjoy and let me know
Yes.
feedback.
And please try the recipe and write for us some feedback. If you want any question, any clarification, we can ask Sister Razia and we'll get back to you. Thank you very much. And we end the session now and we leave to the host to continue with Salam TV. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على محمد وآله وصحبه أجمعين. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Dear brothers and sisters, back to our show and more of the 8th episode of Salam TV for the 8th of Ramadan, 1441 Hijri. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward everyone who is following us, and I hope you're enjoying it with tonight's episode. Thank you for Sister Razia Jabbar for her cooking, and Sheikh Riyadh, he will comment on her cooking because he tested that soup. I thought we were going to test it tonight, but they are, the producer and the directors, they actually did the cooking earlier, and the Sheikh tested it and I missed out. But don't worry, I made them to order some pizzas for me, so I'm not missing out. So I'm getting some pizzas for tonight. Sheikh, how was the cooking of Sister Razia?
كانت delicious الحقيقة.
Sheikh Riyadh, he gave her the approval 100%. 100%?
اي والله 100%.
100%. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward you, Sister Razia, and a stamp of approval came from the Sheikh. So there you go. You are there. Now back to our quiz question for the night. What are the 8 names, different names for the Day of Judgment mentioned in the Quran? Unfortunately, no one has scored the 8 names, but we have Sister Shireen Dahab. She made it to 7 names for the Day of Judgment mentioned in the Quran. And the Sheikh, he thought, okay, well, it's not 100%, but at least it's 99 or short of that. But we will hear from the Sheikh these 8 names.
يعني جتنا عدة أجوبة، منهم من جاوب 7 ومنهم من جاوب 6. يعني شيرين ذهب 7، سمر فكاني 6. بس هن جاوبوا 8 و7، ولكن حسبوا يوم القيامة.
نعم.
احنا قلنا يوم القيامة كم اسم غير يوم القيامة.
نعم.
يعني جيد ما شاء الله. هو يوم القيامة أحد الأسماء.
طيب.
يعني مثلا غير يوم القيامة عندنا الطامة، عندنا الصاخة، عندنا القارعة، الحاقة، يوم الفصل، يوم الموعود، يوم النشور، يوم التغابن، يوم الجمع. هناك أسماء كثيرة يعني تعرف عليها العلماء رحمهم الله وعرفوا يوم القيامة بهذه الأسماء.
جزاك الله شيخ.
فإن شاء الله إجابتكم صحيحة. جزاكم الله خيرا وبارك الله فيكم.
جزاك الله خير. Sheikh, we will have about 2 minutes to go through the theme of the night about the family and the value of the family, the night discussion point and the week theme for Salam TV. فشيخنا بالنسبة لموقع العائلة وأهمية العائلة في الإسلام وخصوصا في أيام رمضان.
الأسرة يعني هي نواة المجتمع، فالمجتمع يتكون من مجموع هذه الأسر.
نعم.
فلذلك اهتم الإسلام اهتماما عظيما بالأسرة، فلا بد من أن تقوم هذه الأسر على قواعد وأسس متينة حتى يتأسس هذا المجتمع وتتأسس هذه الأمة تأسيسا عظيما لتكون مترابطة ومتكاتفة ومتآزرة. فرب العالمين سبحانه وتعالى عندما قال في كتابه العزيز: ومن آياته أن خلق لكم من أنفسكم أزواجا لتسكنوا إليها وجعل بينكم مودة ورحمة. يعني جعل هناك أسس متينة، مودة ورحمة، حتى يتكون هذا السكن، هذا الاستقرار، هذا الاطمئنان، هذا الهدوء الروحي، هذه الأسرة التي يجب أن تكون متآلفة متعاونة متكاتفة متناصحة. إذن لابد أن تقوم على أسس متينة، المودة والرحمة. العلاقة الزوجية إن لم يكن بين الزوجين مودة ورحمة لا يمكن أن تكون يعني أسرة سليمة.
سبحان الله.
فلذلك الله سبحانه وتعالى أراد أن تكون هذه العلاقة الزوجية التي هي أساس الأسرة لابد أن تقوم على المودة والرحمة. المودة هي الحب المتبادل بين الزوجين،
نعم.
وهذا ليس عيبا، صرح به النبي عليه الصلاة والسلام. وعندما سئل من أحب النساء إليه قال عائشة رضي الله تعالى عنها، صرح أنه يحب عائشة. وكان يصرح عن حبه لخديجة بإكرامه لصديقاتها،
سبحان الله.
وكم كان يكرمها رضي الله تعالى عنها حتى بعد موتها. ويعني
هو الود درجة من درجات الحب، مش
نعم. نعم صحيح. صحيح. فلذلك والرحمة هو يعني موضوع آخر يجب أن يكون موجود بين الزوجين. يعني لا يحمل كل واحد من الطرفين الآخر أكثر مما يتحمل. رب العالمين سبحانه وتعالى، انظر إلى هذه الآية، قال هن لباس لكم وأنتم لباس لهن.
سبحان الله.
طيب هذا اللباس،
نعم.
أنت الذي تلبسه، أنا الذي ألبس هذا اللباس.
نعم.
هذا اللباس ماذا يفعل؟
يحميك.
هذا يحميك.
نعم.
إذن أنت يجب أن تحمي زوجتك، وزوجتك يجب أن تحميه.
سبحان الله.
هذا يدفئك،
سبحان الله.
أن تكون دفئا لها وهي دفء لك.
سبحان الله.
هذا يسترك،
نعم.
فهي ستر لك وأنت ستر لها.
سبحان الله.
يجملك.
نعم.
تصور لو أنت طالع بلا ثياب ما بتنشاف.
صحيح.
يعني منظر ما كتير، يعني هذا يجمل. وكذلك فهذه الصفة التي وصفها الله عز وجل صفة معبرة، هن لباس لكم وأنتم لباس لهن. يعني لابد أن تكون، وفي صفة جميلة جدا، هذا الثوب كم هو ملتصق بك؟
نعم. على جسدك
التصاق كامل.
نعم.
هو كتير قريب منك. وهكذا يجب أن تكون العلاقة الزوجية، القرب،
سبحان الله،
التصاق.
نعم.
ما في تباعد، لا، لأنه لابد أن يكون هناك تقارب، وأن تكون هناك علاقة مميزة حتى يتربى الأولاد تربية سليمة.
نعم.
حتى يكون هناك علاقة صحيحة، ولا بتخرب البيت.
جزاك الله خير. خليني أعمل ملخص لإخواننا اللي ما يفهموا العربية. Dear brothers and sisters, I'm really sorry. I have to summarize what the Sheikh was saying beautifully and eloquently about the theme or the importance of the family as a unit in the Islamic community and the wider community, and which will be according to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala deen and Rasul alayhi salatu wasalam, the sunnah of Rasul alayhi salatu wasalam. The Sheikh is saying that the unit of the family will give strength to the community, because the family is as a unit which is based on the Quran and the Sunnah and the deen of deen Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, will make that unit so strong. Because in the ayah that we first started the episodes with, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that وَخَلَقَ مِنْ أَنفُسِكُمْ أَزْوَاجًا وَجَعَلَ بَيْنَكُمْ مَوَدَّةً وَرَحْمَةً. This mawadda and rahmah, the love. Mawadda is one expression for love in Arabic. It's one form of the love, but it's a love that encompasses a lot of aspects of love, not just one part of it. And it's the beauty of the Arabic language. It has a different expressions or degrees of love, and mawadda is one of them. And then the mercy, he coupled or add to the foundation of this unit of family unit is the mawadda, which is the love, and then the mercy. So the mercy is that an element that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put for us in the family, that we look after each other in the merciful way, so we don't ask too much of each part of the family. And then there is another ayah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and the Sheikh was trying to extend the chat about it, is saying that وَجَعَلَ لَكُم مِّنْ أَنفُسِكُمْ أَزْوَاجًا هُنَّ لِبَاسٌ لَكُمْ وَأَنْتُمْ لِبَاسٌ لَهُنْ. So he made that expression between the husband and wife that they are as if they they are the clothes for each other, or the garments for each other. And there is themes behind this, or the values behind this, because the garment or the clothes that we have give us these following things. First, it's a protection. So it's a protection for us. So the husband and wife, they protect each other, and then they give warmth. So they warm their life with each other. And the next thing is that they make them covered. So they cover up on each other shortcomings, or things that they might need to be kept between them only. And the next thing is that makes them more beautiful. Imagine that people walking without clothes, half of them or most of them, they're not nice to look at. So with our clothes, that we get more presentable. So that's they present each other in a better way. So this is how the family unit, this is how strong it is when the husband and wife follow these teachings and these themes of Islamic teachings. They become very strong, and that will translate to the kids, and they will become part of this strong family unit, and then that will strengthen the community, strengthen the society, strengthen the whole unit of that we are living in. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bring mercy and love to all your families and to your kids, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bring strength to your family and bring all the blessing for them. I will thank Sheikh Riyadh for that. Jazakallah khair, Sheikhna. We have a video, our Ramadan greetings from one of the political leaders. It's our local MP for the state parliament here, Carolyn Power MP, and we will watch it with you. It's her Ramadan greetings for our community.
The holy month of Ramadan is a very special time for the Muslim community. I wish you and your family and the whole community a very safe and peaceful Ramadan. Ramadan Mubarak.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Dear brothers and sisters, welcome back to the 8th episodes of the 8th night of Ramadan 1441 Hijri. The episode is coming close and closer to the end of it, but I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope there are some still surprises for you, so stay tuned, don't go away. The next thing is we're going to have another quiz from a question for the night from Sheikh Riyadh, and I will leave him to read it for you.
نعم إن شاء الله. السؤال الثاني يتعلق ببيت المقدس. نسأل الله سبحانه وتعالى أن يفك أسره
آمين،
وأن يفرج عن أهله
آمين،
إنه سميع مجيب الدعاء،
آمين،
وأن يفرج عن سائر بلادنا،
آمين.
لأنه حقيقة أوضاع بلادنا بلاد صعب جدا.
نعم،
بلادنا صعبة جدا يعني.
سبحان الله.
السؤال: متى تم فتح بيت المقدس؟ هذا الشق الأول من السؤال.
Jazakallah Sheikh. The second question or second quiz night for the night of the 8th of Ramadan 1441 Hijri is in which year, which Hijri or non-Hijri year, but preferred in the Hijri year, in which Hijri year the Masjid al-Aqsa, the Aqsa Mosque, was liberated, or the Muslims have entered it first time. In which year was the liberation of Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa, the Aqsa Mosque was liberated, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala liberate it again, the Masjid Al-Aqsa, and liberate all the occupied Muslim lands. So please, your answer, send it through the Facebook, or you can call 83742280, in which year was the liberation of Masjid al-Aqsa by the Muslims in the Hijri year. شيخنا الليلة ليلة الثامنة والليلة ليلة الجمعة واحنا نحكي عن العائلة، نشيد من عندك بعد بمناسبة العائلة أو بمناسبة ليلة الجمعة.
ليلة السبت.
ليلة السبت.
والله يعني ما بيجي الحال مرة اليوم.
كيفك شيخ؟ بس أنت يعني هيك المشاهدين كلهم عم ينتظروا من عنا نشيد، ولا بتريد بعد الحديث؟
إن شاء الله بعد الحديث.
بعد الحديث إن شاء الله. Then we got an answer. Yet the producers they're still doing their typing. So I will go to the hadith for the night segment. And Brother Zuhair, please, if you can share with us the episode of the for the hadith for the night.
ابن رضي الله عنهما عن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم قال: خيركم خيركم لأهلي وأنا خيركم لأهلي. It was narrated from Ibn Abbas, may Allah be pleased with them, that the Prophet, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, said: The best of you is the one who is the best to his wife, and I am the best of you to my wife.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, dear brothers and sisters. Welcome back. We are getting closer and closer to the end of this episode, the 8th of Ramadan, Salam TV. We have an answer for our quiz, for the second quiz for the night. In which year did the Muslims liberate Al-Aqsa Mosque or Masjid Al-Aqsa? And we have Brother Ahmad Shalaqani. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward you. Jazakallah khair, ya Pasha. He answered the question 637 Hijri, the year Miladi, 637 Miladi, the answer for tonight's second quiz. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward you. And Sheikh Riyadh, we couldn't get the
نعم إجابة صحيحة. فهو صحيح تم فتح بيت المقدس في سنة 637 ميلادية على الهجري في السنة السادسة عشر.
16th Hijri and 637 Miladi.
في شهر ربيع الأول.
في شهر ربيع الأول. Subhanallah, that the same month of
ولادة النبي.
The birth of our Prophet عليه الصلاة والسلام. Subhanallah.
اللي فتح القدس.
No. And who liberated the Quds? الخليفة عمر بن الخطاب
رضي الله تعالى عنه. وفي قصة حلوة كتير. لما جاء عمرو بن العاص رضي الله تعالى عنه ليستلم أو ليفتح القدس ويستلم مفاتيحها من قساوسة بيت المقدس، قالوا له: من أنت؟
نعم.
قال: أنا عمرو بن العاص. قال: أنا عمرو. قالوا: هجي لنا اسمك، أعطينا سبيلينج تبع الاسم. قال: عين ميم راء واو. قال: ما هذا الذي يفتح القدس؟
نعم.
كان عندهم
سبحان الله
موجود
نعم.
في كتبهم أن الذي يفتح، قالوا الذي يفتح القدس اسمه من 3 أحرف.
سبحان الله.
فقالوا: ارجع، ليس لك عندنا شيء.
نعم.
حتى جاء عمر
نعم.
رضي الله تعالى عنه
نعم.
يجر فرسه
نعم.
وعليه خادمه.
نعم.
قالوا: هذا الذي يفتح القدس، هذه صفات الذي يفتح القدس.
سبحان الله.
فسألوه عن اسمه قال: عمر. قالوا: هذا هو، هذه صفاته.
نعم.
فسلموه مفاتيح القدس.
نعم.
وتصالحوا وجاءت العهدة العمرية.
نعم.
الاتفاق.
نعم.
الذي تم بين عمر رضي الله تعالى عنه وبين حكام وقساوسة بيت المقدس، وكان عهدا عظيما يعني حتى الآن لم يكن مثله في تاريخ المصالحات.
سبحان الله. Sheikh Riyadh, as always, he gave a beautiful explanation and stories around these events. The liberation of Al-Quds or the Masjid Al-Aqsa had a story behind it, that when the Sahaba and the Muslims army were waiting to enter Al-Quds, the priests and the rulers of Al-Quds, they said, we want, who are you to give you the keys, as the traditions of that time, as a sign of liberation. So Amr ibn al-As, one of the Sahabas, he said, it's me, I am the leader, and my name is Amr. They said, oh, spell your name. And so he said, Ain Mim Ra Waw. They said, no, that's not the name that we know, that who will enter Al-Quds or liberate the Quds or conquer the Quds at the time. So they sent for Al-Khalifa, Umar radiallahu anhu, and he came all the way from Medina to see what's the story. And when he arrived and he was walking, and his servant or his companion, which is one person, was with him. He was on top of the horse, because they had only one along the journey, and they were sharing it between both of them. One time Umar radiallahu anhu will walk, and one time he will be on the top of the horse. So by the time that they arrived at Al-Quds, it was the turn of the servant to be on the top of the horse, and Umar radiallahu anhu, and he is the Khalifa. He was the one walking and guiding the horse to come to Al-Quds. And when he arrived, they saw him, and they said, yep, these are the characteristics that we know and has been mentioned to us, that will be receiving the keys of Al-Quds and Masjid Al-Aqsa. And when they asked him about his name, he said, it's Umar, Ain Mim Ra. They said, yes, we know it's 3 letters. And then they were very happy to hand the keys. And at that time, then he issued the Al-Uhd Al-Umariya, or the constitution of Umarian constitution, if we can call it. And it's one of the most beautiful constitutions that govern cities and rights of people living in these cities, and it's a beautiful, beautiful human rights constitution that we can all learn from it about how to live with each other and among each other with love, with respect, and respect the law of the land, and respect each other to extend the harmony and the best way of living. Jazakallah Sheikh, and I think that will replace the nasheed that I was hoping for, but this is a beautiful story, and it's really part of our rich history, rich Islamic history, to show the people how kind and how meticulous our rulers at the time they were towards everybody, even when the cities that they opened them to the Muslim armies and Muslim conquerors. I will take my last thing to thank Brother Abdul Qayyum for reading the hadith of the night, and I'm really, really sad that I will again have to say a goodbye or assalamu alaikum again to end this episode. But don't forget to vote for me. You've got a few seconds if you want me to be back. I've scored another night tomorrow. You can come back and watch me tomorrow again. But if you want me to come again and again, just please vote for me to come. And don't vote for Brother Hani, because he will take my nights. Jazakumullah khair. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept your praise, accept your fasting, accept your deeds. Don't forget to donate. This is one of the good deeds of this Ramadan. Donate for the Islamic Society of South Australia to keep these initiatives, these beautiful initiatives, and to have us on these initiatives Sheikh Riyadh and I and our guest on these nights. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward you. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I'll see you next time.
إن شاء الله.